Understanding the remaining mission task. Which people in the world have no chance of learning about Jesus from someone within their own people group? How far has the global population been reached with the gospel? Nearly 10% of the world's population is now evangelical believers. Evangelicals believe the evangel, or good news, brings salvation through faith in Jesus. This estimate includes evangelicals in many denominations, as well as charismatics and Pentecostals. The people of the world who identify as Christians include many other Christians as well. About 33% of the world's population identify themselves as Christians. So where do the world's Christians live? Here's the world divided into regions by population. The Christians are not evenly divided around the world. Latin America has the highest percentage of Christians. North America comes next, grouped here with Pacific countries like Australia and New Zealand because of similarities. Europe still has many nominal Christians, while non-Muslim Africa has a very significant population of evangelicals. As you can see, most Christians live in the Americas, Europe, or Sub-Saharan Africa. Christians can reach non-believers in their own people groups. The green areas show the culturally near non-believers living in the same people groups as the believers. Almost half of all the non-believers in the world have many Christians in their own people groups who can reach out to them. So their groups are called reached people groups. Take a look at China. Most of the non-believers are culturally near to China's evangelical Christians. So what's the missionary task in 2018? Blue represents culturally distant non-believers. These non-believers need missionaries because they have few believers in their own people group. Most of them live in India, Muslim-majority countries, or other parts of Asia. Half of all the non-believers in the world are culturally distant from believers. They live in unreached people groups with less than 2% evangelicals and less than 5% Christian. Now, what is the remaining frontier mission task? If there is no movement to Christ in a people group, meaning no breakthrough of indigenous faith, then that unreached people group is also called a frontier people group. Some of the culturally distant non-believers live in people groups that are less than 0.1% Christian. They live in frontier people groups. The dark blue areas show the non-believers with virtually no Christians of any kind in their own people group. This is the remaining frontier mission task. About 1/4 of the world's population still lives in frontier people groups, and over 95% of them are in India and Muslim-majority countries. Here's the mobilization challenge. Currently, for every 30 missionaries that go to the reached people groups of the world, roughly 1 missionary goes to the unreached people groups, including the frontier groups. Missionaries are now going from everywhere to everywhere, but most of them are sent to work with other churches and their training or outreach programs. As a result, the needs of people in unreached people groups, especially those in frontier people groups, are being grossly overlooked. This is the mobilization challenge of our generation.